Not sure how I'll tie into this, but I was thinking as everybody was talking, His grace and His mercy has always been there the entire time. The minute that Jesus stepped foot on the earth, the time that He taught us and He was teaching the disciples, He's always been an example and how pure His life was. And as we sung this song, we don't want the one about hindering things in our life as our daily walk. There's so many things. The minute that we wake up, the minute some of us walk out the door to go to work, I work right in my basement, so I just walk down the stairs. But even that time, from me getting up, taking the kids to school, walking down the stairs, coming home, there's so many things in that small gap that can hinder me in that short of time. And Jesus walked this earth for over 33 years, and that still his walk, that daily walk was pure. Those things didn't hinder him. The things that happened during that time, rocks being thrown, the slashes, being on the cross, it was still so clean. And I was at home one night. I had dropped it. This is a couple months ago. I dropped the kids off at their mom's, and I came home, and it was right after Christmas, so I spent 5 days with them. And just walking in that house, after spending 5 days with them, the silence just kind of got me, and I had to do something. So I had to start cleaning the house, and I started cleaning the house, and I put some music on, and I just felt a little peace. But then after I got done, I had the door wide open because it was kind of cold out, but when the sun hits my house, for some reason that warmth comes through that front door, so I had it wide open. And as I got done and I cleaned the whole house, I looked outside and I was like, man, that door is dirty. That front door is dirty. And so I got some Windex and I started cleaning it. And I realized on the outside it wasn't dirty. The outside was still clean for some reason, but the inside was filthy. And though obviously I have two kids who touch it all the time, and obviously that makes sense, but whenever I started thinking about it, it came to me as like, that's my life, right? I could be so clean on the outside, but on the inside, there's so much turmoil. There's so much pain. There's so much suffering that happens. And those little blemishes, those things that I have in my life, those are things that I have to walk with daily, that I have to clean. Those things hinder me. Those things are the things that bother me. Those are the things that keep me from moving on with Christ. And we have to keep on going. We have to start washing the inside. You know, I could be so clean on the outside, so perfect on the outside. I look at the grass that my brother has been doing outside and how perfect it looks, right? You know, as an example, you could have $1 million house, but on the inside it looks awful, right? You know, it doesn't matter what the outside looks like sometimes. Our soul is on the inside, and that's what he's looking at. Though we want to represent what we have on the outside on the inside, I want to be able to show people by me talking, by me telling them, they can hear, who's inside of me. They can hear Jesus. They can know that I'm a child of God. And those things, as he walked through the world, he looked like any other man that was walking. There wasn't something just specific about him that made him any different than the other, but who he was, how he acted, how he treated people, that inside dwelling of what he had, that purity, that cleanness, that grace, that mercy, that showed everything that he had. And even to be in those last hours, those days when he was, I don't know if this is the right time that this happened, but whenever he mentioned that, Lord, forgive them, for they that know what they have done. Lord, he went through all that, and during that suffering, during that time, he was still saying, forgive them for who they are, do they not know what they have done? How could you be that pure? How, that's insane, right? We can't fathom sometimes somebody being like that, but Jesus was that perfect example. And those blemishes that I have, those pieces that I have, I can be that clean through time, through him cleansing my mind, through the days of my life, picking up the word, listening, changing the direction of my course of my life, trying to spend more time with him, showing my kids, doing those things. I could be an example to them, example to other people, just like he was in our lives. And that's the goal of our life, right? Is to be more Christ-like, to be an example. And he is our true example. The example that we will never forget, that we can always look towards, no matter what's going on in life, no matter how bad it seems, whether we're on the mountaintop or in the valleys, he's the one that is always there by our side. And we know that he didn't just die and then never come back. Folks, he's still alive today as he ever was back then. He's still here today as he was there then. And he's going to continue our walk with us if we can just trust in him and believe with everything in our heart that he is the one that can carry us on. And I'm just thankful for being here tonight. I don't have much more to say, but I'm just thankful.